Okay, so we're going to look at scientific notation again, and this is just kind of a simple word problem that goes with these. They are going to sound, somewhat science-y on these ones. Hopefully that makes sense because it's scientific notation. So don't worry too much about it if you don't quite understand what it's referencing. It's more about converting it. They're just giving you some context behind it. So we have a certain solution has a hydrogen ion concentration of 3.54 times 10 to the negative 6 moles per liter. Write this in standard notation. So again, that's, definitely a very scientific sentence there. Don't worry too much if you don't understand what the hydrogen ion concentration and moles per liter mean. It has to do with, literally how much of the hydrogen ions are in this liter of solution. So we're going to take the number. That's 3.54, and remember, this was on the last video that I had done that's just scientific notation instead of the word problem version. And we're thinking of kind of directionality on this one. If I want to put it into scientific notation, I'm looking at where am I going to move the number from. If I'm putting it in standard notation, which is what I want to do now, standard notation is just a regular number. I want to take it out of scientific notation. I'm going to look at the exponent. The exponent tells me where to go. Okay, so since it's -6, that tells me that I want to move to the left, because on a number line, think of the basic number line, to the left is negative, to the right is positive. So I'm going to take this decimal point and I'm going to move it to the left 6 times. So you can see this happening. Here we go. So I moved it to the left 6 times. Now it's no longer here, it's over here. So now I have to fill all these spots in with zeros. Anything that doesn't have something filled in now. The first jump we made had a 3 in it, so I don't fill that in with the 0. It's already there. So here's the new number. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, because the 6th jump, remember, one of the jumps had the 3 in it. You'll also notice that there's a 0 on the front here. That's the proper way to write a decimal. Yes, Alex will give you grief if you just leave off the 0 and you just put 0.000. It definitely will give you grief about that because it's not the proper way to write a decimal. So make sure you're paying attention to that. It's not one of the jumps. It's just the proper way to write a decimal. All right, the second one said an African bush elephant can weigh up to 28,000 pounds. Write this number in scientific notation. So now we're going to put it into scientific notation. So now we're going to look at where is the decimal coming from. So the decimal, before I do that part, is coming from the end here. Normally I pop a little decimal up here. Remember, the comma is not a decimal. That's just a separator so that it's easier for us to read the numbers. Okay, but the decimals, if you don't see a decimal like this one, then it's all the way on the end. Okay, so we're going to move this decimal until we have one number to the left. So I want this to be 2.8. So I'm going to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And since I'm coming from the right, I'm putting it into scientific notation, so I'm paying attention where it's coming from. It's coming from the right. It's going to be a positive exponent of 4. So it's 2.8. I dropped off all the non-essential numbers, which are these zeros on the end, and then times 10 to the 4th power because I moved it 4 times. All right, so that was scientific notation with basic word problems. I hope that helped, and I'll see you on the next video.